I used to work the docks, loading freight, unloading freight. It was steady, paid enough to keep a room and eat every day. Then the ships stopped coming. At first they cut hours, then they cut men. I waited longer each morning for my name to be called. It never was. I spent what I had. I sold what I could. When the money ran out, the room went next. The landlord didn't argue, he didn't have to. I slept where I could. Doorways, warehouses when they were unlocked. I told myself it was temporary. I looked for work every day. Rail yard, factory gates. The docks again, even though I knew better. Everywhere was the same. Men waiting, no one hiring. When the police started moving people along, I followed the others out to the edge of the city. Scrapland by the river. Fires already burning. Shacks already standing. That's how I ended up here. Hooverville. That's what they call places like this. Camps built from whatever people can steal or drag away. Scrap wood, tin, cardboard, old doors. It's where you end up when the money's gone and the city doesn't want you anymore. No rent, no rules, no help. Just people trying to last another day on land no one cares about. I wake up before the sun because the cold doesn't let me sleep through it. The ground pulls heat out of my bones all night. My back is stiff. My hands are numb. The air smells like wet ash and old food. My shack leans a little more than it did yesterday. Scrapboards tied together with wire. A rusted sheet of tin for a roof. When the wind hits it right, the whole thing rattles like it's about to come apart. I lie still for a minute, listening, making sure it hasn't. Outside, someone's coughing. Deep, wet. It doesn't stop. I sit up slow. If I move too fast, my head spins. Hunger does that. I haven't eaten since yesterday afternoon. A ladle of thin soup and a heel of bread. Mostly water. Still tasted good. I pull my coat on. It used to be brown. Now it's just dirt and wear. I keep it on even inside because it's the only thing between me and the cold. I step out into the path. Hooverville is already awake. Fires burn low in metal drums. Smoke hangs close to the ground. Shacks crowd each other like they're trying to stay warm. Narrow paths snake through them. Mud underfoot. Trash pushed to the sides. No place is clean. No place stays dry. People don't talk much in the morning. Talking costs energy. Faces are hollow. Eyes dull. Everyone looks older than they are. Men who used to lift crates or swing hammers now move slow, careful not to waste strength. I join the line heading toward the soup kitchen. It's a long walk. No one complains. Complaining doesn't shorten the distance. Someone up ahead stumbles and drops to a knee. Nobody laughs. Nobody helps either. They get back up or they don't. That's how it is now. We wait, time drags. The sun finally comes up, pale and weak. When my turn comes, the bowl is warm in my hands. That warmth matters. I drink slow, make it last. When it's gone, the hunger comes back sharper than before. The rest of the day is spent looking for work that isn't there. Rail yard, docks, anywhere someone might need hands. I walk miles. I hear no. I hear nothing. I come back empty. By afternoon, the wind picks up. Dust blows through the camp. It gets in your mouth, your eyes, your food. I sit by my shack and mend a tear in my sleeve with thread I pulled from an old sack. A fight breaks out 2 rows over food. It ends fast. It always does. Someone bleeds. Someone walks away with what they wanted. As the sun goes down, fires grow brighter. The smell of burning trash gets stronger. I eat nothing for dinner. I tell myself tomorrow will be better. I don't believe it. When night comes, I lie back down on the dirt floor. I keep my boots on in case I have to run. Fire, police, anything. I stare at the roof and listen to the camp breathe. Coughing, muttering, a baby crying somewhere. This is life now, not living, just lasting. I wake up to shouting. Not the usual kind, not arguing, not drunk and angry. This is sharp, panicked. It cuts through the camp and pulls people upright. I sit up and listen. The baby's crying stops. Someone's coughing turns into choking. Feet slap through the mud. I step out of my shack with my coat half on. A crowd is forming 2 rows over near the fire barrels. People are packed in tight, craning their necks. I push closer, slow, careful, not to get knocked down. Falling is dangerous here, even on a good day. A man is on the ground. I recognize him. I don't know his name, but I've seen him in the soup line. Thin, always shaking. He's on his back now, legs kicking, hands clawing at his chest, like he's trying to tear something out of himself. Another man is standing over him, breathing hard. There's blood on his sleeve. I didn't mean it, he keeps saying. He grabbed me, I just shoved him. Someone says the man on the ground bit him. That draws a few laughs, nervous ones. People are already tired of the story. Fights happen. Teeth get involved. Hunger does that. The man on the ground makes a sound I've never heard before. Not a scream. More like air being forced out of him. Wet. Wrong. He arches up hard. His head snaps back and hits the dirt. Then he goes still. A woman kneels beside him. She presses 2 fingers to his neck. Waits. Shakes her head. That's it, someone says. He's gone. The crowd loosens. Death isn't news here. People start to drift away, already done with it. I turn too. There's nothing to do. Behind me, the woman screams. I turn back just in time to see the dead man sit up. Not slow, not confused. He jerks upright like he's being pulled by a wire. His eyes are open. Too open. White. Showing all around. His mouth hangs slack. Lips peeled back from his teeth. He lunges forward and grabs the woman by the arm. She screams again, louder. He bites down into her forearm. There's a sound. Not a crunch, a rip. Skin parts. Blood spills, fast and dark. She hits him with her free hand, useless. Someone else grabs his shoulders, trying to pull him back. The dead man doesn't react. He chews. Hard. His jaw works like he's tearing meat. They drag him off her, and he takes a strip of flesh with him. It dangles from his mouth. He swallows it without slowing. People scatter now, screaming, shoving. Someone falls and gets stepped on. The woman collapses, clutching her arm. Blood runs through her fingers and drops into the mud. Two people drop to their knees beside her. One presses a rag against the wound, hands shaking, telling her to hold on. Another tries to lift her, slips in the blood, curses, tries again. They mean to help, they don't know how. Two men rush the dead one together. One swings a piece of wood and cracks it against his head. The sound is dull. The man barely flinches. He grabs the board and pulls. The other man stumbles forward and gets bit in the neck. It happens fast. Teeth sink in just under the jaw. The dead man shakes his head, side to side. The man gurgles and goes limp. That's when panic takes over. People run. Fires get knocked over. Someone screams about the police. Someone else screams about the devil. I back away, heart hammering, trying to keep space around me. The woman with the torn arm is on the ground now. She's shaking. Her face goes pale. Her eyes lock onto nothing. Her breathing turns shallow, then stops. Someone says her name. She doesn't answer. Then she inhales hard and sits up. Blood covers her arm, muscle exposed. She doesn't look at it. She looks at the nearest person and launches herself forward. No warning, no pain, just teeth and hands. She goes for old Frank. He's still kneeling, still holding the rag like it means something. He doesn't have time to move. She slams into him and knocks him onto his back. His head hits the dirt hard enough to crack. She bites into his face, not his neck, his cheek. Her teeth tear through skin and sink in deep. He screams and the sound cuts off when she bites again, higher this time, ripping through the soft part under his eye. Blood pours down into his mouth. He chokes on it. Frank flails, hands scrabbling at her shoulders, fingernails breaking. She doesn't slow. She chews and pulls, tearing loose meat and shaking her head like she's trying to rip it free. She tears back, and a chunk comes with her. His face caves in on one side. Bone shows through red, wet edges. His scream turns into a bubbling whine. Someone grabs her from behind, and she whips around, snapping her teeth, spraying blood across his chest. Frank rolls onto his side, clutching what's left of his face, fingers sinking into the hole where his cheek used to be. He's still alive when she lunges again. I don't wait to see more. I turn and run, boots slipping in the mud, fires lighting the paths. Wrong. People crashing into each other. Behind me, the screaming doesn't stop. Something has broken, and it isn't stopping. I don't stop running until my lungs burn. I cut down a narrow path between shacks and nearly slam into a man coming the other way. His eyes are wild. Blood streaks his sleeve. He shoves past me without a word and keeps going. Behind him, someone screams. The scream cuts off fast. I duck around a corner and almost trip over a body. A woman on her back, legs twisted wrong. Her throat is torn open, not bitten once, chewed. The skin hangs loose, flapping when she twitches. She twitches again and rolls onto her side. I back up fast. My heel catches in the mud, and I nearly go down. I catch myself on a shack wall and feel the boards shake. She gets up. Her neck doesn't work right. Her head lolls as she moves, chin slick with blood. She sees me and rushes forward, feet slipping, arms out. I grab the first thing my hand finds. A rusted pipe leaning against the wall. I swing it hard and hit her in the side of the head. The sound rings. Metal on skull. She stumbles but doesn't fall. She lunges again. I swing a second time, higher. The pipe caves in the side of her head. Bone cracks. Something wet sprays my coat. She drops straight down and doesn't move. I stand there shaking, waiting for her to get back up. She doesn't. I stare at her head. The skull is crushed in, gray and red pushed out through the break. Her eyes are still open but empty. I understand then. It's the head, not the chest, not the arms. The head. A shout pulls me back. Firelight flickers wrong at the end of the path. Too bright, too fast. A shack is burning. Someone knocked over a barrel. Flames climb the tar paper walls like they've been waiting for it. Wind carries sparks from roof to roof. People scatter, dragging what little they have, screaming at each other to move. In the firelight, I see them. More of them. A man bites into someone's shoulder and doesn't let go, even as the other person beats him with a plank. A woman crawls away with half her leg gone, screaming until a hand grabs her ankle and drags her back. It's everywhere now. Not one fight, not one mistake. The whole camp turning in pieces. I move when I can, stop when I have to. I keep the pipe up, both hands on it, eyes scanning for movement that's too fast or too wrong. A boy runs past me crying. Something tackles him from behind, and they both disappear between shacks. The crying stops. I hear Frank, or what's left of him. His voice is low and broken. He's crawling toward a fire, one side of his face gone. Blood trails behind him. His hands slip in it, and he keeps moving anyway. Someone rushes to help him, grabs his arm. Frank turns his head and bites. I don't wait to see more. I push past, shoulder scraping wood, splinters digging into my coat. A body slams into me from the side and we both go down. It's a man I recognize. Worked the rail yard. Strong arms. Now he's on top of me, teeth snapping inches from my face. I jam the pipe into his mouth. His teeth crack around it. He bites down anyway. Gums tearing, blood spilling down the metal. He thrashes, tries to pull back. I shove the pipe deeper and swing it sideways. His jaw tears loose. The lower half drops wrong. He screams through it and tries to keep coming. I bring the pipe down on his head. Once, twice. The third hit caves it in and he finally goes slack. His weight presses on my chest. Warm blood soaks through my shirt. I shove him off and roll away, gasping. My hands are slick. My arms feel weak. Every sound makes me flinch. The camp is lost. Paths are blocked by fire or bodies. Shacks collapse inward, trapping people inside. Screams echo and overlap until they're just noise. Anyone who falls doesn't get back up for long. Anyone who gets bitten turns. Anyone who tries to help dies faster. I see it clearly now. No one else does. I scream it anyway. Hit the head! My voice disappears into the noise. No one listens, or they hear too late. A shack to my left shakes as something slams into it from the inside. A baby starts crying, high, panicked. The sound cuts through everything else. I see the door bow outward, wood splinters. An adult screams inside, begging, voice cracking. I turn my head and keep moving. I don't look back. I hear the door give way. The crying gets louder, then closer, then breaks into wet, choking sounds. The adult screaming stops first. The baby keeps crying for a few seconds longer. Then that stops too. I move again, deeper into the camp, away from the river, away from the fire, looking for space that doesn't exist. And I know one thing for sure. If I stop moving, I'm dead. I move until there's nowhere left to go. The paths choke down to nothing. Shacks press in tight, walls nearly touching. Fire eats at the edges, turning the air thick and hot. Smoke burns my eyes. Every breath tastes like ash and rot. I try to duck into a shack, any shack. The door gives when I hit it. Inside is dark and low. Someone's already here. I smell them before I see them. Blood and waste. A man crouched in the corner, rocking, hands over his head. "Please," he says. "Please." The wall behind him bulges. Boards crack inward. Fingers punch through first. Skin tearing on nails. The man lunges for the door, but hands tear through the wall beside it, dragging him back before he reaches me. I don't stop him. I step back out into the path as the wall gives way and bodies spill inside. The screaming ends fast. Shacks don't protect you. They hold you in place. I keep moving. Fire cuts off the next turn. Flames climb a roof and drop burning paper into the path. Someone runs through it anyway. Their coat catches, they slap at it, screaming until they trip. Hands grab them from the smoke and pull them down. The fire takes the rest. I turn back the way I came and nearly run into 3 of them. They come at me together, fast, mouths open, hands clawing. I swing the pipe and crack the first one across the face. Teeth fly. He doesn't slow. I hit him again, higher, and feel the skull give. He drops. The second grabs my coat. The fabric tears. I feel his breath on my neck. I jam my elbow back and connect with his jaw. It snaps sideways. He bites anyway, gums grinding against bone. I shove him off and bring the pipe down hard. Once, twice. His head caves in and he goes limp. The third trips over the bodies and falls. I don't wait. I swing while he's down. The pipe crushes his face into the mud. He twitches and stops. My arms shake. My chest hurts. I don't stop to breathe. Every sound draws more. People try to hide. Under shacks. Behind walls. In piles of trash. It doesn't work. Someone always hears. Someone always smells blood. A woman crawls under a shack and gets stuck. Her legs kick out behind her. Hands grab her ankles and drag her back. Her nails carve lines into the dirt until they break. She screams until she can't. A man climbs onto a roof to get away. The tar paper tears under his feet. He slides, grabs the edge, hangs there screaming. They pile up beneath him, grabbing, tearing at his legs. He drops into them and disappears. There's no safe place. No high ground, no door that holds. I try to find the river. Open space, air. The wind shifts and smoke blinds me. I cough and stumble. Something hits me from the side and knocks me into a wall. My head rings. Hands grab my arms. Fingers dig in. I headbutt blindly and feel teeth crack against my forehead. I wrench free and swing. The pipe glances off a shoulder. I swing again and connect with the head. The body drops. Another comes in low and tackles my legs. We hit the ground hard. My teeth clack together. The pipe skids out of reach. He's on me, mouth snapping. I shove my forearm into his throat. He bites down on it. Pain flares white. His teeth sink in shallow, scraped bone. I scream and drive my thumb into his eye. It gives. I jam my thumb into his other eye. It pops wet under the pressure. Blood and cloudy fluids spray across my face, streaking down near my mouth as he snaps blindly. I scramble for the pipe and bring it down with everything I have. His skull splits. He stops moving. I roll away and stare at my arm. Blood runs down to my wrist. The skin is torn, but not deep. I don't wait to see more. I tear a strip from my shirt and wrap it tight. It hurts. I keep moving. The camp sounds different now. Less screaming. More wet noises. Chewing. Breathing too close to my ear, I spot a group trying to hold a line with boards and knives. They shout to each other. They back up together. For a moment, it almost works. Then someone trips. They collapse inward. The line breaks. I hear bones snap. I hear a man beg. I turn away before I see it finish. Fire takes another row of shacks. The heat drives everything toward the center, toward me. I push through a gap and find myself trapped between burning walls and moving bodies. I can't go back. I can't go forward. I climb. I grab a beam and haul myself up onto a shack roof. The tar paper burns my hands. I crawl across and drop down the other side into smoke and darkness. I land hard and keep going. There is no hiding, only movement, and movement is running out. I break out of the smoke and hit open ground. The river is ahead somewhere. I can smell it under the ash, wet and cold. The camp thins as I run, shacks giving way to scrub and junk piles. Fewer bodies here, fewer fires, more space. Space feels dangerous. The infected spill out after me. They don't slow when the paths widen. They sprint, arms pumping, heads forward, mouths open. I hear their feet slap dirt behind me. Too many to count. I don't look back. My arm burns. Every swing I made is paid for now. The wrap is already dark. Blood seeps through and runs down to my hand. My grip slips. I swap the pipe to my other hand and keep moving. A man runs alongside me for a few steps. Older, limping. He wheezes with every breath. "River," he says. "Get to the river." I nod. He stumbles on a rock and goes down hard. He reaches for me. I don't stop. I hear him scream when they reach him. I don't hear it for long. The ground drops suddenly, and I slide down a dirt bank into reeds. Water flashes in the dark. The river's swollen, fast from recent rain. Cold air rises off it and bites my lungs. People are already there. Some waiting, some swimming, some standing on the bank, frozen, not knowing what to do. A woman jumps in and disappears under the current. She comes back up screaming, hair plastered to her face, arms flailing. She gets pulled under again and doesn't come back. I don't hesitate. I run along the bank until I find a fallen tree, bridging part of the water. It's slick with moss, narrow. I start across anyway. Hands grab at my coat from behind. I kick back and connect with a knee. I feel it break. The grip loosens. I don't look to see who it was. Halfway across, the tree shifts. The current slams into it, shoving it sideways. I drop to my knees and cling, fingers digging into wet bark. Below me, they pile into the river. Some swim, some sink, some get stuck on rocks and thrash until they're dragged under by others climbing over them. A few reach the bank near me and claw up, soaked and fast. I swing down with the pipe. One goes back into the water with his head split. Another grabs the tree and pulls himself up. I step on his hand. Bones crunch. He lets go and vanishes under the churn. I crawl the rest of the way across and roll onto the far bank. Mud coats me. I don't stop. I keep running, up the slope, into brush that tears at my coat and skin. The sounds behind me thin out. Fewer footsteps. More water. More silence. I run until my legs shake and my chest feels like it's tearing open. I stop behind a pile of rusted scrap and bend over, gagging, sucking air. I listen. Nothing close. Just the river. Distant screams carried on the wind. Fires crackling far behind me. I check my arm. The bite marks are shallow, ragged. Blood still running but slower now. I tighten the wrap until my fingers go numb. Someone crawls out of the brush nearby. A young woman, mud-streaked, eyes wide. "Help me," she says. I back away, pipe up. She freezes, hands raised. Her eyes flick to my arm, to the blood, to my face. She shakes her head. "I'm not," she starts. A shape bursts out of the brush behind her and slams into her back. They go down together. She screams once. I turn and leave. The city lights glow faintly in the distance, closer now. Street lights flicker. Sirens wail and cut off. The world beyond Hooverville isn't quiet. It's breaking too. I keep moving toward it anyway. Behind me, the river keeps taking bodies. Ahead of me, something worse is waiting. I don't have a choice. The city takes shape as the dark thins. Street lights flicker like they're tired. Some are out. Some buzz and hum and die. When I pass under them, dawn is coming, but it doesn't bring relief. It just shows more of what's broken. The first block I hit is quiet. Too quiet. Storefront windows are smashed. Glass crunches under my boots. A delivery truck sits sideways across the street. Engine still running. Door open. No driver. I move slow now. I listen. A police automobile is parked crooked at the corner. A red beacon turns slowly, painting the walls. The driver's door is open. Blood streaks the pavement like something was dragged. I don't go closer. A man runs out of an alley ahead of me, waving his arms. "Help!" he yells. "There!" He doesn't finish. Something hits him from behind and drives him face first into the pavement. His head cracks. He tries to push up and gets swarmed. Hands pull, teeth tear. The sound is wet and fast. I turn down a side street. People are moving in groups now. Not organized, just clustered. Some carry knives, some clubs. One man has a shotgun and no shells. He swings it like a bat, eyes wild. A woman screams from an apartment window above me. She pounds on the glass until it breaks inward. She leans out too far and falls. She hits the sidewalk wrong and doesn't get back up. Two men rush to help her. She bites one in the neck before they understand what she is. I keep moving. Hand-cranked sirens wail somewhere deeper in the city. They cut off one by one. Gunshots crack, isolated. Then closer, then gone. I reach a grocery store with its front ripped open. People are inside already, tearing shelves apart. Cans roll across the floor. Someone shoves me aside and grabs at my arm. I swing without thinking and catch him across the temple. He goes down hard and doesn't move. No one says anything. I grab what I can carry. A loaf of bread. A bottle of water. I tear the bag open with my teeth and eat as I walk. A scream echoes from the back of the store. Then another. Then silence. I leave through a side door. Down the block, a line of people tries to hold the street with a barricade of trash and furniture. They shout orders. Someone thinks they're in charge. It lasts until the first infected hits the pile and climbs over like it isn't there. The line breaks. People scatter. Someone fires a pistol into the crowd and hits a man running away. He drops and gets trampled, then bitten. There's no plan here, no response, just noise and movement and fear. I cut through a parking lot and nearly collide with a squad of cops moving backward, guns up. One slips and falls. Another grabs him and hauls him up, yelling to keep moving. Something slams into them from the side. One officer goes down. His helmet pops off and skids across the asphalt. He screams once before it ends. The rest run. I don't follow. Smoke rises from somewhere ahead. Not campfire smoke. Thick. Black. A building burns unchecked. Fire engines sit idle at the curb. Hoses tangled. No one at the controls. I see a bus, stalled in the middle of an intersection. Doors open. People inside pounding on the windows. Shapes move among them. The pounding turns frantic, then slow. I skirt around it. The city feels hollow, like something scooped it out and left the shell. The sounds are wrong. Too close. Too sudden. Then nothing. My arm throbs. The wrap is stiff with blood. I tighten it again and feel my fingers tingle. I ignore it. I find a doorway and duck inside long enough to catch my breath. The building smells like old paper and dust. An office. Desks overturned. Phones ringing with no one to answer. A man stumbles out of a back room and freezes when he sees me. His eyes flick to the pipe in my hand. "I'm not sick," he says. "I swear." Something crashes behind him. He turns. I don't wait. I push back into the street and keep moving, toward anywhere with fewer people and more space. The sun finally breaks the horizon, weak and pale. It doesn't make things clearer. It just shows me how bad it already is. Whatever's left of the world isn't coming to help. I'm on my own now. The sun stays low and useless. It lights things without warming them. Every shadow is sharper now. I move slower because I have to. Every step sends pain up my arm and into my shoulder. The wrap is stiff. Dried blood cracks when I flex my hand. I stop in an alley and retighten it anyway. My fingers tingle, then go numb. I shake them and wait for feeling to come back. It doesn't, not all the way. I accept it and move on. Food makes people stupid. I see it 3 blocks later. A bakery with its door torn open. The smell drifts out into the street. Bread, real bread, not stale, not moldy. 2 men are inside already. One is shoving loaves into a sack. The other stands at the door with a knife, watching the street. They see me intense. I don't slow. I keep walking past like I don't care. Something crashes through the back wall. The man with the sack turns too late. Hands grab his shoulders and pull him backward. He screams once. The knife man runs. I don't look back. I hear chewing. My stomach knots anyway. I cut through a yard littered with broken furniture and clothes. Someone tried to make a camp here and failed. Blood stains the grass in dark patches. Flies already gather. A shape lurches out from behind a shed. I see the way it moves and swing first. The pipe hits the side of the head and glances off. I hit again. Harder. The skull cracks and caves. The body drops. I stand there breathing hard, waiting. Nothing else comes. The kill costs me. My arm screams. I have to rest with the pipe braced against the ground until the shaking stops. Every choice costs something now. I hear footsteps ahead, careful ones. I duck behind a car and watch. 3 people move down the street together. A man, a woman, and a teenage boy. They have a crowbar and a kitchen knife between them. They move tight, backs almost touching. They pass me without seeing me. A block later, I hear shouting, then screaming, then nothing. I keep going. The city is thinning. Fewer people, fewer infected too, but the ones I see are faster now. Hungrier, they don't wander. They hunt sound and movement. I step over a body in the road, a man with his head smashed in clean. Someone knew what they were doing. Someone paid for it. I reach a hardware store and slip inside. The shelves are half empty. I grab wire, cloth, a small hatchet. It feels good in my hand. Solid, heavy. I test it once on a mannequin head left on a shelf. The blade bites deep. I don't test it again. In the back room, I find a sink and rinse my arm. The water runs pink, then clear. The wound looks angry but clean. No swelling yet. No heat. I wrap it again, tighter, and cut circulation on purpose. I don't stay long. Outside, a man limps toward me, hands out. He's bleeding from the leg. Not bitten. Shot, maybe. Please, he says. I can't. Something hits him from behind and knocks him flat. I step back and raise the hatchet. The infected crawls over him, mouth snapping. I bring the hatchet down into the back of its head. It stops. The man is still alive. Barely. He looks at me, eyes wide. Help me, he says. I look at his leg, the blood, the way he's shaking. I shake my head. He curses me as I leave. I don't turn around. By midday, the city feels emptier. The noise fades. What's left moves in short bursts. Violence flares and dies quickly. I find a place to sit in the shade of a collapsed awning. I eat the bread I took earlier. Half a loaf. I save the rest. My stomach hurts but settles. I check my arm again. Still no fever. Still no shaking I can't explain. I breathe slow and wait for something to happen. Nothing does. That's the cost. You wait and don't know if you paid too much. I stand up and keep moving. Every mile takes something from me. Strength, blood, pieces of who I was before this started. But I'm still walking. And that has to be enough. The afternoon drags on without changing much. The sun hangs there, pale and distant, like it doesn't want to be involved. Shadows shorten. Heat settles in. The smell of smoke never leaves. It just spreads thinner. I move away from the main streets. Fewer people means fewer problems. It also means fewer chances to get help. But that stopped being an option hours ago. I follow alleys and service roads. Places meant for trash and deliveries. I step around broken crates and piles of glass. Every noise makes me pause. Every pause costs energy. My arm ache, a steady, dull way, not sharp anymore, heavy, like it doesn't belong to me. I loosen the wrap a little, then tighten it again when the blood starts moving faster. I don't look at the wound longer than I have to. I find a small park wedged between buildings. The grass is trampled, benches overturned. Someone tried to camp here and didn't finish. I check the trees before I step in. Nothing moves. I sit anyway, just for a minute. My legs tremble when I stop. I rest my back against a stone planter and close my eyes. The sounds don't stop. They never do. Distant screams, glass breaking, a gunshot, far off, then nothing. I drink the last of the water. I ration it without thinking. Habit from Hooverville. You never know when you'll get more. A man limps into the park from the far side. Middle-aged, sweating hard. No blood on him that I can see. He spots me and freezes. We stare at each other. I raise the hatchet enough for him to notice. He nods once, slow, and backs away the way he came. No words. That's how it works now. I don't follow. I leave the park and head toward a row of warehouses near the rail line. Big open spaces, fewer places to get trapped. The doors are mostly shut. One is half open, bent inward. I listen before I go in. Nothing obvious. Inside smells like oil and dust. Sunlight cuts through high windows and dirty beams. I move along the wall, keeping space between me and the center. Footprints mark the floor, old ones, new ones. Too many to sort. I find a corner with stacked crates and sit again, this time with my back to something solid. I eat the rest of the bread, slow, careful. It fills the hole, just enough to stop the shaking. I check my arm one more time. Still the same. No heat. No swelling. Pain. But pain I can work with. I let myself breathe for a few seconds longer than I should. Something scrapes outside. I'm on my feet before I think about it. Hatchet up, eyes on the door. The sound moves past. Whatever it is doesn't come in. I don't chase it. Evening starts to creep in. The light shifts. Long shadows stretch across the floor. I know better than to stay inside when night comes, but I also know better than to run blind. There's no good answer. I leave the warehouse before dark and head back toward the rail line. If I can follow it, I can keep direction. Direction means I'm not circling. Circling gets you killed. The city behind me keeps making noise. It hasn't burned itself out yet. It probably won't for a while. I keep walking. I'm not safe. I'm not rescued. I'm not winning anything. But I'm still on my feet. That's all I've got left. And for now, it's enough to keep me moving.